and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I am just drinking on the same water I had yesterday, and I will finish it today, so it'll be a fresh bottle next time. Yes. But I also have my cup mug because, yes, of course, which we have a panel full of cup mugs, Beer. And it's the Survivor Australia edition. And you can get you one of these beautiful mugs, well, new and improved mugs, or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, so there are no excuses. Even if your postal service is moving at snail pace, it will get there eventually, but it will get there. So a delay is never a deny. So get your merch, period.
And I'm Logan Murphy, something gay. My flight was delayed to Australia, to Samoa. Sorry, but I'm here. I'm very excited to talk about this season. I am drinking a protein Arnold Palmer. And yes, that sounds interesting. It's just lemonade protein powder and iced tea. So it is technically sweet tea, Lana.
Sure.
Hey, I'm just trying to abide by the Resident Evil Diva rules.
Sure.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, and I don't have a cute shirt. I'm just here, and I'm drinking some water, and I don't have a really good way to introduce myself to these podcasts. So here I am.
Guess we're gonna have to figure it out, David. Maybe. Or not, it's fine. But y'all, we are talking about Survivor Australia episode 2, and I don't know how to feel about these first 2 episodes. I don't hate it. I will say that I don't hate it. It's definitely entertaining me, but I'm just like, my emotions with these people are like, they're taking me through it. It is way too early for me to be going through it with them. I'm just saying, it's episode 2. I shouldn't be going through it with these people, but I am.
Well, when you walk into camp, find an idol conveniently within the first 5 minutes of walking onto your tribe, and then within the first 6 minutes of getting there, show it off to everybody and flaunt it as if you're some kind of mafioso. Yeah, the season's going to start weird and feel weird.
It definitely feels weird, but I kind of like the weird. I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I'm not mad at the weird. I'm not mad at the weird.
I like it. I'm feeling things, and that's what I want.
Right, exactly. If I didn't feel anything, if I was just bored to tears, then I'd be like, okay, this will be a whole different conversation that we're having.
Right.
So I am feeling some things. So I'm just like, okay. But we're going to jump into all of that, but you know what to do. Thank you to those subscribers. We see you. I see y'all subscribing. I see you. I see y'all. Just want y'all to know I do. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so, because we are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're going to do our best to give all the episodes on time in the best content that we can give, our best thoughts ever, because we're the best ever. But we just need you to subscribe. You help us out, we'll give you stuff. It's a give and take relationship here. Thank you. So subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels. We have 3 other channels you can subscribe to if you're a fan of Drag Race or Drag, if you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, or if you're a fan of WWE Wrestling. We got a lot of stuff going on those channels. So all those links will be in the description below. I can speak. In the description below.
Speaking is hard.
Sometimes. And so all of those links will be there, as well as our audio podcast links, so you can check us out on the go. And y'all are showing out over there on the audio podcast links. I just want you to know I see you over there as well. So check that out if you need to check us out on the go. And we have a Patreon. So we got a lot of stuff going on in our Patreon that we would really, really appreciate you to join and see and get to know us better as a panel and all of the things. So check us out in our Patreon. All right, let's get into it, y'all. Because I was hoping we would get some aftermath after the tribal council, the first tribal council. Like, I thought we were gonna go back to the beach that night. We're gonna get some talk, but
anything.
Nope. We go straight to the next morning, and I was like, oh, okay.
I have a question for the group before we fully dive in, because now we're 2 episodes in. Because I love the way that they edit Australian Survivor. It's always very cinematic. It's always, very like grand and all of that. Does the editing feel different this season? Like, I feel like we're not including some, like, for example, we're not including the night shot when they get back from the beach. We're not including, like, the tribe winning after reward. Like, there were just a couple of, like, weird editing things that I noticed in this episode that I was like, I don't know whether, like, it felt strange.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've been getting the win after reward. But, if there's not enough going on immediately after camp, I trust them to just leave it on the cutting floor. Like, if there's other things you need to show, I don't need to be here for an hour and 30 minutes. You got my time for an hour and 10 minutes.
Very true.
I'm good.
But like, I wanted to get some conversation after Candy was let go, and see what people. But we did get a lot of conversation the next day because. Then, Nash was very like counting the numbers, like something ain't right. These numbers aren't adding up. What is? And then he pulls Zen over into his office. I would like to say, come step into my office and let's talk about this. And he talks, and Zen is like, "Yeah, I flipped." And I was like, ooh.
You could tell that he wanted to hold back a little bit, but Nash was pushing.
Yeah, Nash.
I'm kind of impressed that he picked up on who it was, because I wouldn't have guessed that if I was Nash.
I think. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, he knew who he had in his corner, and he was like, "These other people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people should have been a vote for Candy, and then those other ones, just 1 and 2 and 3." And 4 should have been a vote for Ursula, or I don't think he thought like he was like he didn't think he probably thought he shouldn't have no votes against him at that point. He was like, nobody should have voted for him
because he's so perfect and he controls everything that no one's gonna vote against him.
Maybe he might have thought he might have had 1 vote, like those 4, or would have put a vote on him or something. Like,
I just figured he would think that it was Morgan and Kate that didn't vote with him before Zen.
Right.
But he was really narrowed in on Zen. I know you didn't. I know you didn't vote for Candy.
And Zen was like, "You're right. I flipped." He was like, "Why would you do it?" He was like, "Because I was trying to flush an idol, man." He was like, "But I had you," and I'm like, "I get it. I understand what Nash was doing." And I understand why he went, his whole conversation with Zen. And then I understand why Zen was like, even though, like you said, he didn't want to, a little hesitant, but it was like, okay, I'm caught. So, yeah, I did. And I did it for this reason. And Nash was like, I understand. Now, here's my thing. I was like, is Nash like just saying that? Or like, if everything's cool? Everything's okay. Is he just saying it just, for Zen to feel comfortable? Or does he actually, like, is everything actually cool with him? Or he thinks everything is cool? Because Zen is like, I'm going to say whatever I got to say to make sure he is okay with me. But when it happens and I get a chance, I'm taking him out. So I wonder if Nash is feeling the same way, or is it just one-sided?
I think jury's still out on it. I'm not exactly quite sure. I would like to see I would like to see a Nash versus Zen rivalry. I do think that would add a lot of fun dynamic to the tribe, especially because then it would take the heat off of my favorite person right now. Because I don't want any heat on Noonan. No heat, no smoke on Noonan.
Love Noonan. We do love
I cannot sing enough praises about Noonan. Love Noonan.
The Noonan noodles have been untainted so far.
The Noonan noodles are untainted.
Thank God. I would like several many plates of Noonan noodles. Yes, thank you. Eating it up because she ate in these 2 episodes.
I was sad, and I enjoyed her very much. We gave her flowers yesterday because
and I'm gonna give her flowers today because she wasn't in this episode much, but she was there countering the epidemic caused by Nash. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think at this point Nash really can't afford to not include Zen on his plans.
I agree.
His numbers are barely there right now, so he really needs Zen. So I think he has to play nice, even if he doesn't fully trust Zen.
Right.
But I like that we know Zen
has
other plans.
I'm living for that.
We got a fresh tray of Zen pasta.
Right. Period. Right. A fresh tray came
and might I add, because I really, Lana, you really picked him up in the draft real quickly. And I was concerned and a little was not expecting that. Thoroughly surprised by Zen so far. Thoroughly impressed with Zen. Thoroughly.
It's just something, like I said, something about Zen. He's a hip hop artist. And in order to be a good hip hop artist, you have to be able to have some kind of swagger, some kind of, some smoothness about you, something. You have to be social because you got to get people to listen to you. You got to go out there and be personable so people like you. And you have to be willing to be out amongst the people. And I think Zen knows how to do that. He can get people on his side and do it in a really less threatening way because he's not a huge dude. He's not this big, brawny guy. Like Ben's bigger than him. Paulie's bigger than him. Jesse's almost big. Peter, he's not the biggest dude, but he's not a chump. He ain't no lame. Like he's not losing challenges or anything like that.
He's contributing a lot to the tribe so far,
and he's not getting on people's nerves. He's not rubbing them the wrong way. So he is right in the middle. And I just felt that about him. I was like, he gotta have some kind of swagger about him. But yeah, I like Zen thus far. The Zen pasta is delicious to me. I'm eating it up. But they quickly move over to the Brains tribe, and we see they hate the shelter. They hate it. They hate the shelter. And I'm like, I get it. Look at it. It's ridiculous. They have nothing on the floor. They just put their clothes down there on the sand. And
they have nothing.
Nothing. It's awful for them. And so Corinne and Laura and the ladies are kind of like, listen, we need to fix this. This is ridiculous. And Miles is like, yeah, let's do this. Let's fix this. We got to do it. The guys, on the other hand, are kind of like, more so Rich. I'll say that. I won't say all the guys. More so Rich. It's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. I don't want to work so hard. I feel like it's just a waste of time. I'm like, a comfortable shelter is a waste of time.
When you're if you were on a 26-day Survivor season, I might agree with you a little bit. There's a point to be made. On a 47-day season, the shelter is not important to you? No.
I just don't know.
Where?
I don't
Where?
Know. But it wasn't that important to Rich, and he was annoyed. And Rich was like, I don't do it. And he got Max to be like, yeah, I don't want to do it. And they kind of was just like, or was that AJ? I think it was AJ.
That was AJ.
I don't want to do it. We did get, it was they didn't want to do it. But the girls were kind of getting annoyed with Rich because Rich was just like, Then we see how can I put this? We see Kent and his whole praying mantis act. And we see his target is Miles still. And he's clearly going to target Miles for whatever reason he decided to pull out his behind the other day. He was going for Miles. And Miles was it. And he was going for Miles. And that was going to be all. And he went through this whole praying mantis bit and why the praying mantis is who he chose.
Wasn't he just a Komodo dragon?
Right. Yes. He was a Komodo dragon. Now he's a praying mantis.
Pick your insect or insectoid animal thing. sir.
He
Like,
He must have watched Kung Fu Panda recently, and he's like, let me go through every animal that's applicable.
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't know, but this man is just—he's wild.
All the while, we're getting his like strategy and whatever, and then we get this emotional breakdown moment from him where he's like, "I've just applied to be here for 10 years, and I'm just so excited. Okay, I'm gonna poison people. What?
Well, I like that part. I like at least seeing some humanity from him.
Oh no, I liked it, but I was like, oh, so you can turn it off and on like that. Got it. Cool.
Yeah. He definitely showed us what kind of person that he can be. Like in this game, he is going to be that. I can be emotional for when I need to be, and then I can be like, and scene. You know what I mean? Just be done. But I did. His emotion. Look, everybody has a dream, and his dream was to be on Survivor. He applied for 10 years, and he finally got it. I can respect that. I can understand why you get emotional because, yeah, after fulfilling something that you could not buy, like he likes to say, he's a millionaire, so he knows he could buy whatever he wants, but he could not buy his way onto Survivor. And so for 10 years, he finally made it, and he's very happy. But he's going to take advantage of every situation that comes with being in Survivor, which also includes being Komodo dragons and praying mantises and preying on people who have no idea he's preying on them and for what reason. We still don't know why Miles was the person, but he says, this is what he says, because Miles he was playing so strategic. He was playing too hard. And I was like,
we did see, and then at that point we see kind of this like montage situation of Miles kind of talking game to a lot of different people, but I'm like, Kent, you're being more strategic than he has so far. So are you just going after the people you see as immediate threats, but you can't verbalize that? Like, confusion. Or are you going after him because he has the easiest way in with most of the women?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's because he saw Miles as a person who is strategic, just as strategic as him, and was like, I don't want him to be here. I need to be that person. I need to be that strategic mastermind of this game. So he has to go. But whatever the reason, the girls are still girling over there. They like, y'all, this coven, I take it very seriously. I like it. We can do something with this. We can have the numbers. And okay.
We missed Allie get
I know yesterday. I'm about to say the same thing. I was like, we didn't say Allie yesterday, but she was in there. So
I was really confused by that too.
So the only person who wasn't in the initial alliance was Indy. And so I was like, okay. But Indy comes up to the girls because she sees. Indy said, I sat back. I've been watching. I've been seeing who's been going with who's been clicking with who. That's part of my thing. And when they showed her package, I said, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, literally. Because I said the same thing about Kent yesterday, and he didn't go. But I was
got
like,
Kaylin's package first.
We did. That was the very first thing we saw.
That was the very beginning of the episode.
Coconut bartender.
Yeah. But see, I didn't think nothing of that because I think the mood that they had them in was like, oh, I'm the bartender. Fun. Kaylin, then we do Kaylin's background story. I was like, oh, okay, all right. But
might I add, what a cutie.
I know. That's exactly what I wrote down. She's so cute.
Kaylin is really cute.
Hello.
Kaylin is really cute.
I said that when we
you did, and he's got a nice butt too, and it was very much so on display throughout this whole episode.
Kaylin's a cute.
He's got some very nice assets. We'll say that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, okay, his thing, it didn't do. But I think it was the way they did her background story that made me go, oh shoot, because when they showed her and she went over to the girls to, extend the olive branch, be like, hey, I'm here. I would love to, talk with you all more, do all this stuff. And then they went into her being like, I read a room. I know this. I'm a boss at what I do. And I was like, oh, when y'all show the boss chicks, when y'all show us as boss chicks and in charge and da. That's never a good thing. I know y'all. It's never a good thing when you show us, like, Kaylin got the lighthearted, I'm this fun guy kind of edit, and she got, I work for this and I do this and I am good at what I do and blah blah. I was like, oh, she's the boss chick edit. Shit. I was like, I was hoping. I was still hope, but I was like nervous at this point. But the girls opened up to her and they were very happy to invite her in. All the women together, we can have this women's alliance.
Who do you want to go after, Indy? You, Karen, because there's only room for one black woman.
And I was like,
well, there certainly, I guess, was.
I was like, I don't like this. I was like, even if it was a joke, I was like, no, not the.
I'm like, Indy, you don't know these people well enough yet. It's day 4. No. You don't know them well enough yet.
I just don't. I mean, I look here. We joke. Black folks, we joke about stuff like that in our community all the time. Like, there's only room for one black person here in this chat because y'all know how others see us. We can only
need a white audience for that, though.
She had a white audience, and so yeah, it's too many of us not there for us to have that joking conversation. That's an inside joke that we should have kept inside. But I mean, it's cute that we got 2 black girls in the same tribe. Cute.
And 3 total. I'm not bad.
Cute. Love it.
A little bit more diversity than Australian Survivor usually gets us. So just a touch more. Just a touch. We can't go too crazy.
Baby steps, I guess. But yeah, so when she said, I was like, oh, girl. That was an inside joke. We don't say that on the outside, but okay. But and Karen took it as the joke. Corinne took it as the joke that it was. It was funny. But yeah, they did open up to her and everybody was like, we can do this. We can make this coven happen. And I'm like, okay, great. But I have a problem. And I have a problem with Laura in this episode. And we will get to it later. And I have a problem with her. But they all were like, this is what we love this idea. We love this thing. And it was good. But we talked about this before we got on air. The way they handled Indy was kind of. Like, they made her feel like she was the last one involved in the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, okay, girl, you're here now, and you're going to be our number, and that's fine. And, it is what it is. They just handled her like she wasn't important, which comes into play later on. But
yeah,
I also wish she didn't make it so obvious right away that she knows that she's the last one,
right?
Because she was like, I've seen you all are always together and chatting. I'm like, there's ways you could have eased into that and just naturally planted yourself into this instead of calling it out, because when you call it out, like, if you already are recognizing it, then what's to stop them from being like, well, she knows. You know that you're the last one in.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's a little complicated all around.
Very complicated. But then we go to the reward challenge, I will say. I think over there, anything else happening that I missed? The reward.
Well, Rich wants to have a cross-gender alliance.
Just to turn on the women.
Yeah.
Oh boy, what middle-aged white man hasn't had this storyline on Australian Survivor before? Oh gee, what a unique and novel concept for someone.
What I did like about how he was wording it was he was talking to Max and he's like, we can just ride their coattails. And I actually really like that, because anytime riding coattails is mentioned in Survivor, who's riding whose coattails?
It's always the women.
It's always the women riding the men's coattails. So I love the fact that he was self-aware enough to be like, we'll let them make the decisions and we'll ride their coattails. I'm like, okay, come on. Be honest about what it is.
because honestly, that's usually the way it is. But the men don't want to acknowledge that's what it is, and then they'll turn on the women, and the women have to go
Right.
because they're the
Yeah.
weakest link eventually. It's just like, but so yeah, we did have that conversation where Rich was like, "We're gonna ride their coattails." I'm like, "Cool, ride them, I guess." But
Party.
we go to the reward challenge, and the reward is, well, they come in and they're looking to see if somebody's wearing an immunity necklace.
And where's your hat, Max?
Where's your hat, Max? He's like, someone stole it.
I love Max. I love Max.
Max
He's
is
very happy. He's on my team. I love Max. I think he's adorable.
Max is adorable. Max is like, someone stole it. I was like, oh well. But they're looking to see if Nash is wearing his necklace. They get their first look to see that Candy is gone, and it was like, oh my god. And they're like, is he still wearing it? And they're like, nope. So they like, did you flush it? They were like, yep. I was like, okay. And
These tribes are being honest so
yeah,
far.
they've been very honest. I'm like, oh, okay. So the reward challenge, this is the rewards. You can get a fish, a big old fish, or you can get fishing gear. So whoever wins gets the choice between a big old fish that will feed everybody today, or a fishing kit that can feed everybody throughout the competition. Sure, great. So the challenge is they have to they have to get on this like thimble rolling.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Slide
like I said,
down.
it's like
Slide, yeah.
like giant. Yeah, slide down, get the stuff.
Grab
the
things.
bags. as you slide
Sandbags.
down.
Yes. Slide down, grab the sandbags. Once you get all the sandbags, then somebody's gonna jump on this thing and get pulled. Is that one, or am I mixing the two?
You might be mixing the two. I think then you once you get all the bags, you have balls and you knock down these puzzle pieces.
Yes,
knock down the puzzle
I'm mixing
pieces.
the two. I'm mixing the
You
two.
drag the puzzle pieces out to sea, and
Right.
then it's a giant ocean puzzle.
Floating puzzle.
Unique, different. We love floating ocean puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I did say that. I was like, oh, I like a floating puzzle. This is kind of cute.
Come on, floating ocean puzzle. Work.
I like Nash. Nash must be like, yeah, I'm not good at puzzles, but I can throw. I can throw well.
What does he do successfully? Quickly.
Because baby, nothing. He cannot do puzzles thus far, and he cannot. You know what he can do successfully? Find idols.
There we
Because he
go.
found one quickly. But I'm just like, dude, okay. But yeah, you slide down, grab the things, you go out and you knock down the puzzle pieces off these 3 rows of puzzle pieces. Then you take the puzzle pieces out to sea and you put it together. Somebody's on top to lead you into doing it. So it started off pretty even. You know, we had a couple of misses, but we had everybody was grabbing 2 or 3 bags at a piece. Everybody is pretty much good with sliding down, grabbing the pieces. They go out, and this is where it starts, shifting a little bit, because at first the Brawn was killing Ben, taking stuff out. He knocked down 5 at one time.
Love it.
Ben said, "Wipe out!" All of them falling, and then it just started. Then he got a little gassed, and Nash steps in. And Nash misses everything. I don't know where
every single shot he made. And I love it. I don't remember who it was, but someone in the back was like, how did Nash get up there?
Like, didn't he say he could throw?
Right. Because Ursula said she wanted to do it, take Ben out, I'll go in. And they were like, no. Ben stays. And Ben was like, I'm tired. So Nash was like, oh, I'll do it. And I'm like, y'all go pass up Ursula for Nash? Okay. All right.
Y'all gonna pass up Ursula for Nash.
For Nash. Okay. Well, okay.
All right. Questionable.
On the other side,
questionable.
We had Rich and AJ.
I think.
I think it was AJ. They was throwing. They did all right for a minute. Kalen comes in and then he starts demolishing. After a while, because Rich was just throwing. After they got so many down and they were down to like a few pieces left, Rich was just missing. He just wasn't hitting it. So he steps out. Kalen comes in. Kalen is like, whap, whap, Hellbaker. Whap, whap, Hellbaker. Pop up. He knocks them down so fast. It was just like boom, boom, bam.
Oh, it was Miles. Miles was up there because at one point then it was Miles and Kalen at the very end.
Okay. Kalen was doing. Yep. He was throwing bombs at the end. He was just like, all right, whop, whop, whop. I was like, all right, period. Kalen was eating it up, but it took Ben coming back after Nash misses all of those shots for Ben to finally get the things. But by the time all the Brawn have all their pieces down, the brains are already at the puzzle in the water. Indy is up in the tower telling them where to go. She's doing her best to tell them where to go, and everybody's talking over her, and they're not listening. She's like, listen, squiggly this one. And so they're like, say names. And she's like, I'm trying. I don't know your names. I
don't know your names. We're 5 days in.
I felt Indy in that moment, like, I don't know who you are.
I don't know
the
who
blonde
you
woman.
Blonde girl.
Which one? There's 4 of us.
Which one? Literally.
Oh no. Like, I wouldn't know their names either. But she was like,
I'm struggling, to be honest.
100% still
I got
struggling.
Laura down.
Yeah.
Logan and Allie are somehow very.
And Logan, I'm confused.
Yeah,
still.
I get Zara and Logan mixed up sometimes too.
It's all 3, Zara, Allie, and Logan for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I get them all mixed up. I get them. Yeah. Confused.
Thankfully, the other younger blonde woman is on the other tribe, or else,
right?
God forbid, Allie, Logan, Zara, and Kate all make it to the merge. I'm not going to know who anyone is still.
It's wild, but they get on there, and he's trying to tell them where to go. Paulie is up for the bronze, telling them where to go, and Paulie's doing a really good job because Paulie got them together pretty quickly. And Indy kind of slowed down.
And looking very good while doing so, I have to say.
Everybody was moving. Everybody was working. They was doing their thing. But in the end, the brains come out successful. And they win the reward challenge. Yay. Good on them. Good on the brains.
There's just something about, like, when it's brains versus Brawn, like, I kind of want to see Brawn suffer and struggle. Just because, like, they already feel like they're... Because Brawn already feels like they have an advantage, so it's like, it's good when you see them lose challenges.
I understand.
I've always felt that way.
I get that. I will say I've appreciated so far on this season that the challenges at least feel a little bit more balanced. Mm-hmm. Because I remember on Brains vs. Brawn 1, the challenges did not always feel as balanced between like physical and mental. And at least in the challenges we've had so far, there's been a nice balance of both. So I at least appreciate that.
I understand what you mean, David, because I feel like the Brawn tribe usually, not saying always, but usually always has a leg up because pretty privilege is a thing. And if you're on the Brawn tribe, you're probably considered pretty. And that's the thing. And if you're a brain, not that it's true, because there's lots of very good-looking people who are smart. But usually, when we think of brains, we think of nerds. We think of people who are nerdy and da-da-da-da-da. And then the Brawns are the strong jocks and da-da-da-da-da. So I get it. And I kind of fall in that category. I'm like, I really root for the brains. But I don't know if that's going to happen in this season. Let's continue on a few more episodes, and I'll let you know if I'm still rooting for the.
So far, I am not really rooting for the brains. I'm finding I like more of the Brawn.
See, I'm pretty even. Yeah,
right now I'm even.
In fact, like if you told me to pick like my top 3 right now, there'd probably be more brains because I really like Miles and Kaylin and Noonan. I would say those might be my top 3 right now.
Okay. Well, but the brains win. And they go back to camp to make their decision. Do they want the fish or do they want the fishing gear? Rich is already like, I want the fish. I want this big fish right now. but everybody, and then we have the other argument. Caitlin's like, well, we can get the fishing gear and we can fish and we can have food for a long time instead of just right now, today. And more people ended up deciding to go for the gear instead of the fish. And so he's like, I mean, I was unvoted, but it is what it is. Him and I think it was Zara, she kind of wanted the fish too. She was like, we are not going to catch as much fish.
It was either Zara or Logan. Again, getting them confused.
One of those beautiful ladies was talking to Rich, and
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, so immediately I'm like, yeah, take the fishing gear. Duh. That makes sense. But the more you think about it, like there are some points that are made about like that could significantly feed them compared to what the other tribe is getting, especially like knowing just how much muscle mass you lose on Survivor, like that extra boost in the beginning could really be a game changer. So I get Rich's point, but I do think Rich's decision was mostly a decision on an empty stomach, and he wasn't even really considering the other aspect of it. So either way has its plus and negatives.
Absolutely. I was gonna say either one could have been a right or wrong decision. So it's like, there are pros and cons to both sides.
And you don't know how long you're going to be in these tribes either. So
true. So, but Kaylin goes right out there and goes fishing and catches the fish. And he's like, yeah, look, I got this tiny fish compared to that big old tuna what we had.
I like that after Rich was like, we're not going to catch anything.
Any fish. And Kaylin's like, got one.
He came back with two.
He came back with two fish.
Two little ones.
But it was fish and they could eat off of it. So it was like, we got
a morale boost.
Absolutely. And I think if somebody like a Kaylin is on your tribe and enjoys going out in the water trying to catch the fish, let them do it. Let them go out there and be that guy. But anything else happened? Because I can't remember what some of the things that went on. Because there was some conversations that were had.
The main one is just Corinne is mentioning how she doesn't like Rich. That's all I wrote down was Corinne doesn't like Rich.
She wants Rich gone. And they make a plan between most of the ladies that Rich will be the target. And then
emphasis on most.
Most. Yeah, they make the plan. And then they go tell Indy about the plan. And Indy is like, oh, that's just what it is. We're not talking about it. That's just it. And they're like, yeah, that's the plan. And then you're like, okay. I mean, I've said I don't want to be a number, but I'll go along with it. If that's what the plan is, that's what the plan is. And in that moment, I was like, oh, Indy girl, just go with the plan. Just go with the plan. And this just right now.
Lay low.
Lay low and go with the plan. And Indy does not lay low at all and go with the plan at all. But that's even after the immunity challenge.
Right. The only other thing, this is actually where we get most of the drama with the shelter, like putting it together. And the guys are like, no, I don't want to make a shelter. I don't want to do anything.
I'm tired. I just want to relax and just eat coconut chips and blah, 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 blah. Like, it was just so babies. Like, all of them were like, I don't want to do it. Except Miles. Miles is like, what you need me to do? Let's make the shelter. And the shelter that they made still looked like a bad shelter, but a little bit more coverage on the top, a little bit more stuff at the bottom. They're not sleeping directly in the sand. So
someone said it's the same thing except prettier.
Absolutely. Just a little prettier. But it is what it is. Do we go to the immunity challenge? Yes. Okay, immunity challenge it is.
Hey, Max did get his hat, by the way.
Max got his hat. Indy made Max a new hat because she was like, I feel bad that his hat is gone, so I'm gonna make him a new hat. And I was like, oh, that was very sweet. So he comes in with his hat, more like a crown, but she didn't have time to make a full hat. What do you think this is? She's not a full on sis here. She made you what she made you. But they go to the camp. I'm not the camp, to the challenge, and Max shows off his hat, and JLP was like, cool hat guy. Cool. But this time, the challenge that I was into putting into the reward challenge, they had to go and stand on this big
Like a wheel, kind of
wheel-ish type
giant
deal,
wheel.
some type of deal, and they had to stand on there and pull. They had to get pushed or pulled into and get these bags with more sandbags in them, and they had to get those, and then they had to go under and get these discs off of a thing, 4 discs, which are the holders, because what they have to do is once they set up all the 4 dishes, they had to take the sandbags that they got and toss them into the holders, and they had to get 1 sandbag in each holder in order to win the challenge. And I mean, it feels to me, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, all these challenges seem to start the same way. They start off really good together, and then the brains pull away and take the lead, and then the Brawn comes and has a good showing towards the end, and then we have to fight it out at the end. Like, it feels like that's been,
and then it goes one. It's
one way or
50-50
the
as to
other.
whether that's literally how every challenge has gone
Well,
so far.
Brawn
So, yeah,
did
I'm
not
with you.
catch up at all during last immunity challenge.
Oh, that last immunity challenge, yeah, no, they just lost that puzzle when Nash was like,
oh God,
when Nash did this the whole time and kept moving Nunes pieces. Yeah, no, they didn't. That was a blowout. It was a blowout. But this time, the last few challenges have been that way. It's been whoever pulls it out at the end. But we see the brains take the lead, or a little early lead. The Brawn comes catching up. The brains pull away a little bit again. They get the disc off. Miles is killing it for the brains tribe. He's just like climbing up on things, and like getting, putting them up, not twisting them off, not twisting them off, because that was AJ. AJ was doing that, or was it Max? See, I can't tell them apart either, to be honest. AJ and Max.
I literally was almost saying that earlier.
I can't tell AJ and Max apart either. I'm be honest. I'm still learning. But I think it was Max. He was like, "Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me." And he was like, I got it. So he's taking the things off. We see Jesse is killing it, taking the things off, just spinning them like spin tops, taking the things off so quickly. They get to the end, and this is where Miles is putting the things on top of the thing.
And I was like, we have to build our own challenge now?
Build a challenge. Build a challenge. I kind of like it. It's another extra layer.
We've seen it before on Survivor.
I love the extra layer of challenge building as we go. Hey, I wasn't mad at it. Zara was trying to help Miles. Eventually, he was like, "Get out of the way. I got it. Move." And so she went away. Kate, on the other hand, was killing it for the Brawn tribe. She's getting it and putting it up, and putting it up. Kate was killing it. Zara had some problems. Yeah. Anyway. But they finally get together, and it's Ben and Morgan are doing the tossing for the Brawn, and it's Rich and one of them men. I don't remember what man was. Was it Max? Or was it AJ? I don't remember. One of those dudes. They all looking alike. It wasn't Miles, because I know Miles. It wasn't Miles. But I know Rich was up there. And so, it was Kaylin. No, it was Kaylin. It was Kaylin. It was Rich and it was Kaylin. I remember now. It was Rich and it was Kaylin. And they started out decent. Kaylin hit one right away. Rich was, I don't know what Rich was doing. Missing. That's what Rich was doing. Missing at every chance. He finally gets one, but it's hanging off the back. And then Kaylin throws and hit the board hard, and so it falls off, so they're back at 1. Ben, on the other hand, is Superman. Ben comes up, whoop, 1, shoot 2, shoot 3, and there's that 4th one he just can't get. And it's just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I'm like, is he going to finally hit it? Which one is he going to finally get? Is he going to finally hit it? Is he going to finally hit it? He finally hits it. And the Brawn wins the immunity challenge. And they're very happy. And you know what? I was happy for them. Good on that. we know somebody from the other team is going home, and tomorrow we'll have a even challenge. Nobody has to sit out because it'll be even teams again.
It'll be back to 11 versus 11.
Work. So they're happy. They're gone. We don't see the Brawn tribe again this whole episode because why? They won. Don't need to see
For
them.
what? For what reason?
For what reason? We need to go where the drama is because the drama.
Let me just make this easy for you all. Miles is getting voted out, and I'm gonna take a nap right now.
Okay. Thanks. So that's what's happening. Miles is getting voted out, I guess, and David's taking a nap. But Logan, let me tell you what really will happen because
yeah.
We're gonna go for Rich because
great, big fan. Big fan.
We don't want to go for Rich, but hold on. I'm gonna go tell Rich that the girls are coming for him because I'm Indy and I don't like being the last to know things.
Yeah. So we're gonna do Rich. Yeah, Rich. We're gonna do Rich.
Rich. By the way, could you come here for a second? Rich.
Hello.
Rich. I want to tell you, and I'm gonna tell you this. You and Max, look at me when I'm telling you this. They're coming for you.
I think it was AJ, but sure.
Oh, AJ. They're
at the water well?
Yeah, they're coming for you. They want to get out of Big Boy, and they want to get you out, and they're coming for you. And I am putting my game at risk right now telling you this. But I'm telling you this, and just know if you screw me over, remember, I'm black, and I will come for you. I mean it. Don't do it. All right. I'm going to go now.
She's not going to tell me who to vote for. She's not going to tell me who to vote for. And I'm going to go tell all of the women that Indy told me this.
And guess what? I think, and AJ, I think she's pulling your leg because her lip was quivering. The lip was quivering. Mm-hmm. So, and as of course, Rich has to go and tell all the girls. Indy came and told me that y'all were all voting against me.
What?
What?
What? Do you mean the woman that we didn't include until we absolutely kind of had to has flipped on us?
We didn't say that. We didn't say exactly that. That's not exactly what we said. So I don't trust her anymore. I don't trust her. We got to put her out. We just got to vote her out. I don't trust her anymore. I don't trust her. So yeah, the plan is Indy now. The plan is Indy. Oh,
guys, how's it going?
We changed the votes.
So it's Indy.
It's Indy now. It's Indy.
I can nap for literally 2 minutes without it changing.
It changed. It's Indy now because she cannot be trusted.
No.
She can't be trusted. We have to vote her out.
It's Miles.
It's gonna. I'm telling you, it's not Miles. It's not Miles. Well, Kent says it's Miles, so it's Miles. So this is where we leave off, going to tribal council.
A goddamn mess.
Because everybody's like, it has to be this, and Kent's like, no, it's got to be Miles, and Corinne is like, I still want it to be Rich. Because at first they took him back to Miles. And because here's my problem with Laura. Because Laura was like, I can't let Rich go because Rich is good for my game. And I can't let
he's not, Laura.
I can't let Rich go right now. So I need to convince them that Rich is not the plan. But instead of you going to Indy, who already felt left out, and say, hey, I don't think we should do Rich. And she could be like, yeah, I don't think we should do Rich. She probably would have been included in the conversation. I don't think we should do Rich. I told Rich that because I don't think we should do Rich. And maybe made her feel like she's a part of something. Instead of saying, now, when Rich tells you what she said, now everybody want to act like we ain't say it. We never said that. I ain't do nothing like this. I'm like, Laura, girl, why are you now acting like Indy has done something so drastically crazy outside of the box, like ridiculous, when you're trying to do the same thing. Like, you literally are like, I don't want it to be rich, so I'm going to do what I have to do to prevent it to be rich. Indy didn't want it to be rich, so she told Rich about the plan. And she was like, because I don't feel like I'm a real number with these people. I would rather feel better if I was over on this side of the coin. Y'all trying to do the same thing, but you just doing it in a way where you could still be good with the girls and still have Rich on your side. Andy just did it in a way where I'm throwing the girls under the bus. Like, I'm throwing them all under the bus because I don't feel like I'm a part of that. I would rather be a part of this. Two different ways of handling it, but y'all doing the same thing.
Well, I don't even know that Indy's motivation was like, "Oh, I really want Rich to stay." Like, it didn't feel pro-Rich. It felt anti-women. And the fact that Rich was willing to tell people about that, meanwhile, Indy is not. I actually understand Laura's point of view on this. I'm like, okay, we have this person who's actually telling me information, and then somebody else who's actively targeting all of the women. I get it. It's super complicated, and it is a problem that Laura and the other women created for themselves. But at this point, what can you do? I would also want Indy out.
I just never want a black woman to go. So that's just me. Right. I don't care how bad they're playing. I will never want a black woman to go like that.
Yeah.
I never want a black woman to go like that. Let me just say that. Like that, where it's like everybody turns against her because of how they treated her and made her feel like she had to do something drastic. You know what I mean? If everything was just on her, if everything was on her, if they treated her right, if they did what, they included her, and then she still flipped, and I'm like, girl, you don't know on that when you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
But she went off of the reaction of how she felt of how they were doing it. So that's what I don't like it. Sure, she could have done it a whole lot differently. She could have did it. And why are we trusting Rich? Why are we trusting?
Laura and Logan and Rich and is it Max? They had already pretty well established an alliance, and we hear about it later in the tribal too. So I get it. Like, she clearly has some sort of connection there, even if we haven't seen it a lot in the show. We have seen it sprinkled. So I get it. If she has like an established relationship with Rich, and what she's created with Indy is pretty new and pretty loose and already showing a lack of trust.
I get it.
Where would you go?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. 100%. I get it. I understand why both parties feel the way they feel. And I understand why they took it in the direction that they took it. I still don't have to like it.
Exactly.
I understand it, but I don't like it. It's just that. But we do see, so they go to tribal, and it's a mess because we don't know where everybody is going. We think we're hearing everybody's name. Well, not everybody's name. We're hearing Indy, we're hearing Rich, we're hearing Miles. It's just, but
Kent puts himself out there too.
And then Kent puts himself out there at tribal. Okay, let's talk. Please, can we?
Why does this man sit up in this tribal council, reveal his entire game plan basically, and goes, I was the one that burned Max's hat?
And that he wanted Miles to be blamed.
Be blamed for it.
I love the women in this moment because they're all like that.
Confidence of a straight white man.
Yeah, all of the women like that's actually really messed up. Yeah, I don't like that.
I was hoping they'd be like,
I know. I want to whispers.
Like, I think we should do Kent. That's just gross. Like, I would have been like,
and then the nerve to be like, oh, I'm just gonna buy him a full leather hat. Blah 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 blah. Like, you don't know the significance of this hat.
And poor Max is just smiling through
hat.
it.
Max is just like, yeah, let's not talk about that anymore. I'm like, are we kidding me right now? This man, I don't like him. I hate that I picked him. I don't like him. I will not mind losing him.
You
on
should
my
have just
draft.
let me have him in the
Um,
draft so I could have all of the grenades. All of the grenades.
It's just awful. But like, I don't get it. And he's just like, oh, I'll buy you a new leather hat. Da, 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 not the, and like you said, the significance behind the hat, he wears it with his primary students where he teaches at his school. So this hat has meaning. And you just burn it like it's nothing because that's what you think about people. I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. Kent feels like everybody is beneath him and their property means nothing. They're peons and morons, and he can just walk around and stump around and do whatever he want to do and has no regard for these people's feelings. I would have easily, seriously, when he said it, I'm like, ew, that is gross. You didn't know that man for a day and you burning people's prop. That's disgusting. I think we should get rid of Kent. We should just vote him out right now because that's disgusting. And I would start the trend. And I'll be like, and if he doesn't go, it will become my mission to get rid of him. And he can be mad. And I'll be like, yes, openly coming for you because that is disgusting. Why would you do that? You don't know this person. So if you would do that to him, what will stop you from doing stuff like that to me and burning my property? So absolutely not. You need to go. But the fact that he was sitting there and laughing and like, and everybody was laughing with him, I'm like, y'all are sick. All of y'all are sick. Like, what are we doing here? I would have easily been target. He would have been target number one in that moment. I'm like,
I think he will be. I think he will be.
I think he will be, and he should be. He should be because because Miles was literally just talking about what he felt like. He heard his name and he jumps in like, oh, let me jump in and say this about how strategic you are and how you were rubbing people the wrong way and how I put this on you because I'm the praying mantis and I decided to burn my bait seer's hat and blame you. And then, what? I don't see. Look, I'm not neither a man, nor am I a white man, nor am I an Australian white man. I don't know if this is what goes on in the white man brain, in the Australian white man brain. And we decide that millionaire white man brain, Australian white man brain, because it's not everybody, but millionaire Australian white man brain. If that's what goes on in that brain, where he feels like it's okay, even in a game. Because a lot of stuff is acceptable in some games, all fair and love and war in games. But taking someone's personal property and destroying it with no qualms, and then talk about it and gloat about it and laugh about it the next day at the tribal council. What? Hello? What world is this? Like, I'm confused. And nobody even thinks to go, maybe he should go right now. I know we got beef with Indy. I know we got beef with Rich. But we can put that aside for right now, can't we? Because this is gross. I would have said it out loud. I'm like, y'all think he should go right now because that's kind of gross. Now, y'all can fight me on it, and it might be detrimental to my game. Like, they could disagree with me and be like, no, he's fine. Okay, it's just me with morals. Okay, I got it. And that could be detrimental. But me personally, I would have been saying something like that. Like, nah. It just seems icky. It just seems icky to me. And that he laughed about it. And they all laughed with him. It was like, what? Am I living in a Twilight Zone? What's happening? I feel like I'm talking too much. Y'all
I think it was mostly like nervous laughing. Like, I don't think people really think it's funny. And I think
I would like to think that.
Yeah, I think once people are alone and get to have conversations, like a lot of them were pretty vocal that they did not like it. So I think once they're alone and not around him, I think people are going to be like, yeah, that's really effed up.
I hope so. I hope that happens tomorrow and we get that conversation where they're like, yeah, that's kind of gross. Can't do it. But there we go. Rich talks about, because he asked Indy, well, JLP asked Indy a question, and she starts to answer. And then it just got weird because
I think Allie was the first one to call it out that she knew that Indy like told information, and I'm like, oh, we're being honest about that, or being open about that. It's not going to be a blindside.
She knows it, and then but then when she's trying to explain something, Rich jumps in and just starts talking, and so I think it was Logan or Corinne were like, Allie was talking.
Yep.
Yeah, Allie was talking.
Thank you.
And I was like, hello.
Thank you.
Because y'all have no problem cutting this woman off while she's trying to speak and give the same thing that you were just about to say. She was saying the same thing, but you had to make sure your version was in it. And he was just like, I was like, okay. Rich, another one. I picked him too, and I don't like him either. Just send my draft team home. I will be okay with that. I can lose this draft and be okay. But I was like, oh, jeez. But it became very, very clear in this tribal what was going down, what was about to happen, because they all went in on Indy, because Corinne said that it felt personal. And I know what she meant when she said it felt personal. I know it felt like, sister, I let you in this circle. Me and you, we even had a kiki about it. And we opened up. And I personally feel like you came attacked right for me, because she mentioned Corinne's name to Rich and was like, Corinne wants you gone. They want you gone. All the girls want you gone. So it felt very personal to Corinne that Indy will come for her and just throw her under the bus, like she's the one starting this drink, even though she won. And she was very much, let's get Rich out. She just did. It felt like a very much black on black crime right here. Like, why would you do this to me, girl? Sister to sister, why would you do this to me? So it felt very personal. But then the rest of the girls was like, you turned on women. You literally just threw us all under the bus. For what reason? And Indy's like, because I didn't feel like I was a part of your group. I did not feel.
She said, so are we doing the women thing? And they're like, no,
you won't let us.
It's like, so there was a woman's thing.
Right.
But
Come
actually,
now,
I think probably the comment that I disliked the most in the whole tribal council was when Rich was talking about Indy, and he's like, I think you have a problem with authority.
Yes.
I'm like, that felt really loaded.
I was like, who are you the authority over?
Who are you, white man, saying to this black woman that she has an issue with authority?
Who even was the authority in this?
That's what I'm like. Who is the authority? Are you the authority, Rich?
Yes, in this situation, he's considering himself the authority.
Because I'm like, what do you mean she has a problem with authority? When he said it, I literally, you know how you have a visceral reaction to that? I was like, what?
He can go.
I was like, what do you mean? Who is the authoritative figure in this situation? Because from what I remember,
The white man.
Everybody is on a team. We all on the same tribe. We all are equal in this tribe. Nobody has an authoritative nature. But apparently Rich said she has a problem with authority. And I was like,
And he brings up the VBs alliance. And he's making it so clear. He's like, yeah, I have an alliance with Laura and Logan, and I'm sure they were not happy. Like, you saw their faces and they're like, why is he saying this?
Because if you saw Laura and Logan's face, like, then you saw Corinne and Zara and Allie's face, like, excuse me?
No.
So you're
that's why you were trying to save him.
That's why you were trying to say, got it. So now they got a lot of discussing and talking to do when they get back to this beach, because the gloves are now off. All has been revealed. People's alliances are busted, and the vote was. It was good.
Just, yeah.
10-2.
10-2.
I like the music they had while they were voting. It felt really intense. Like, that was a different music than they usually have.
Yeah, it was very intense. I was like, oof. I think their set is like one of the best.
Yeah.
I-
Thanks, Kent, for not voting Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna thank him for that.
That was sarcasm.
I had like, I'm sure you all probably did not feel this way, but going into this vote, like as they were walking up to vote,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I have no idea what's happening, because like I could have seen 3 different people getting voted out, and I was pretty even on which one it would be. Like I had no idea if it was going to be Indy, Miles, or Rich. Like anything could have happened, and it wouldn't surprise me.
I agree with you. I think it could have been any of them, like, because I think Corinne could have easily been like, I'm still voting for Rich, and got Zara to still vote for Rich, and maybe Miles was voting for Indy, and Rich was voting for Indy, but I don't know. They would have had to do a lot of talking beforehand.
Yeah.
For it to change to anybody else. I felt like in that moment
I didn't know
to Indy.
I didn't even know for sure that it was set on Indy going into the tribal council.
Oh,
so for all I know, it could have been like, oh, it was changing away from Rich. Oh, it was changing away from Miles. Like because there were so many people that were dead set on what they wanted. And usually it's between 2 people. And this time it's 3 different people that you have at least 1 or 2 people that are like, it's gotta be this person.
Gotta be this person. Yeah.
I was like, this is wild.
I was kind of, I thought it was going to be, I took Rich out the equation at that point. I was like, I don't think Rich is the one. For me, I thought it was still Indy or Miles. So that was what I was like, it could go either way. If the girls still decide on Miles, then it'd be Miles. But the way they were talking to Indy, I was like, they felt betrayed, and they felt like it was personal, and they felt like she came for them personally, which she did. So a lot of it was, and I'm not going to say, oh, it was just an emotional thing, because it wasn't just emotions. It was very much
a multifaceted reason for taking her out.
Absolutely.
Lana was talking. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I was why was I so confused for a second? I was like, what? Oh, got it. No, but, oh, that's funny. It was wild, but no, I did. I took Rich out the equation at that point. I thought it was between Indy and Miles, but the way the girls are reacting, I kind of was like, they hurt, like they're upset, not hurt, but upset with the fact that she has ruined what could have been a really strong women's alliance. Although Laura and Logan was already planning to ruin that said alliance as well. Anyway, they were going to go whichever way was going to be more successful. So I don't know. But we do have to go to the draft, because there is an update.
Okay, yeah, there they are.
Yep.
I keep looking for things to be over their faces.
Nope, I just black them out. And it's Jack is down 1, Brooke is down 1. Team Lana and Logan still all put together intact for now. And I had 2 scares. Like, I thought I was losing someone yesterday, and I thought I was losing someone today. And I was like, am I going to lose someone? And they were like, no, you're good. So I'm like,
with a big smile on your face, am I gonna lose someone?
Am I losing someone? No. Whew, thank God. I mean, for the draft's sake, yeah, I'm happy. But for actual people in these people, 2 of them could go. The other 4, perfectly fine. I would love for them to stay and be cool and stay on the tribe. But 3, two, just two. I'm just like, if they leave, I wouldn't be that heartbroken. But you only got 1 person, Logan, on your team that I would be like, they should go.
And that's Nash.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody
overall, I really like the rest of my team.
I don't have strong opinions on Zara and Petey, but I really like the other 3.
Yeah. I think I need to see more from some
Mhm.
people. Like I need to see more from PD. I need to see a little bit more from Zara. I need to see a lot more from Ben because I really like Ben, but I want to see more from him. But we shall see. We shall see what we shall see.
I'm gonna call it. I think one of you is gonna win the draft.
Me or Logan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yep.
I think I'm going to win the draft because I stand behind my team.
Sure. I stand behind my team and I think I'm winning. Watch Brooke win.
Who does Brooke have again?
Oh,
Actually, I think Brooke is least likely to have a winner. I don't see any of those people as winners.
I mean, I don't know. I think Jack will win. Jack has a chance of winning. One.
A chance, yes.
A chance. Yep, I see a chance for Jack. But yeah, I look, okay. I think me and Logan, one of us will win.
Yep.
I kind of think so too. I'm looking at it more and more.
I'm not too mad at that outcome.
Yep.
Me either.
Wait, who's the one you think for Jack?
Jesse.
That's exactly who I was thinking. I think
Yeah.
did I mention Jesse yesterday as well?
I think you said Jesse was somebody who was
Yeah.
good. Yeah. But Jesse is someone who I think could actually pull this out and make it. And Ben could, but he's very quiet. So
Yeah, I don't see.
I think that could work for him or against him. I'm not sure which way is falling for me right now. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's that. We did what we said we were gonna do. We talked about it, and
This time we went longer than the episode.
Longer than the episode. Yep. Last time we were just a few minutes shy of the episode. This time we're longer. We'll see how we fall tomorrow. Who knows? But we will be back here tomorrow to talk about episode 3 of Australian Survivor. Let us know in the comments what you think. We appreciate all the comments that you leave behind. Let us know what you think about it. Who are you rooting for? Who do you agree that Kent should go next? Or should it be Nash? Because those are the two, or Rich, because those are 3 people I think should go next. One of those 3 should go.
Probably going to be a woman.
You know, probably.
Not 3 in a row.
Probably.
Well, we know how this show goes.
I would hate it. I would hate it with my whole heart and soul. But let us know what you think. Hit the subscribe button, y'all, because we are going to give you content every single day and every single week about stuff. I don't know about every single day, but every single week we got content coming out because, I don't want to give you false advertisement. But it seems like every single day I'm recording something. But we hit the subscribe. You can see it. It's right there, right down there. Subscribe. Notification bell, all the things. Follow all of our other channels. We have 3 of them for you to follow. Those links will be in the description below. Follow us on our audio podcast links so you can check us out on the go. And you can join our Patreon to get exclusive content, early access, backstage stuff, a lot of stuff. And the Patreon is coming your way. Follow us on all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, all those places. And you can get your merch at Lana G's Creations at Etsy.com. That link is also in the description below. And that's it. We're going to go. So cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
We got new Zen pasta. It's delicious.